Joe Fontana?
Joe Fontana.
Joe Fontana.
Think like Joe Montana.
Joe Fontana.
Yeah, like
Perfect.
the state of Montana, but it's just with an F.
Got it. Good to know. Awesome. Joe,
Hey,
thanks for being here.
thank you for having me.
How's your show been so far?
Oh, it's been fantastic. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, super busy. Seen a million people. I always try to get one game changer here at the conference
Yep.
that I could bring back to the business. That's going to be.
Have you found that one yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So today, there's a lot of pressure today because I haven't found it yet.
And this is in your backyard, right? You're from
I'm
here.
from Chicago, yeah.
Okay.
So
Would
this
love to
is
just
it.
like get the background on yourself and then
Yeah, sure.
the company you're building because it looks pretty awesome.
So our company's Fry The Coop. My name's Joe Fontana. I am the founder, owner, operator, janitor, marketer, CFO, you name it. No, we built a great team. Started in 2017.
Yep.
Started with one restaurant on the south side. Saved all our money. Piled it into opening up the second restaurant. We started with second generation restaurants.
Yep.
So I was able to open our first restaurant for $63,000,
Nice.
like next to nothing. Paid that off within 6 months. Saved up another like 100 grand to open up the second restaurant.
Yep.
Same thing, second gen restaurant. And then we've been doing that for 9 years now. And fast forward to today, I got 10 restaurants, 215 employees. We're on track to do 16 million this year. No debt. We're debt free.
Nice.
And building out a commissary with a storefront, and we're gonna have our offices there. So we're about 2 weeks away from starting a 10,000 square foot headquarter project, and that's gonna set the tone for us opening up 75 stores over the next 10 years.
You're on a mission. It's
Yeah,
like
we're on a mission. Yeah.
75 the next 5 years.
10 years.
10 years, okay.
Yeah. Maybe. If you want to give me
So-
$30 million, I can maybe pull it off.
How have you thought about, so you said like funded today, no debt. How have you thought about the next 75? Is that corporate or is it going to be franchise as well?
It's going to be all corporate, and I hate that word corporate,
Yeah, well,
because
yeah.
I don't feel like a
yeah.
chain. I feel like
Yeah.
we're like founder owned,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to own all of them. I want to own the business, own the brand, and control it, scale it, and build a company. And I think like an exciting part for us is we want to grow the company so we can grow our people.
Yeah.
Because the more we scale the company, the more opportunities we have, the
Yep.
more money my team can make. And I work for the company too now.
Yeah.
Even though I'm the founder, like I'm employed by
Yep.
Fry The Coop. It's turned into something more than me. And so I also want to make more money. So let's go.
Perfect. Let's do it. That's exciting. How? So you said like that expansion. How are you thinking about the capital side of it? Like going into that, is it going to be like self-funded internally? Bring on investors? Like how are you thinking about that?
Yeah, and so it's been really, I realize how challenging it gets when you're starting to grow because you need more people to help.
Yeah.
And we have an office team now. We have about 10 people on the support team. So if you think about it, that's one support person for every restaurant we have right now, and that is not a good ratio. I kind of learned that a better ratio is almost like one support person for every 2 to 3 restaurants,
Right.
If you could have one support person for every 3 restaurants, like you're in a good place. But anyways, like we tried a little bit of bank debt. I thought the bank was going to really help us. We partner with a local bank here in Chicago, and we thought, okay, if I open up this store in this location, that LLC will, take on maybe 500 grand in debt, and then it'll pay it off over the next, 1 to 3 years, and then that debt would stay with that LLC, and then I could go borrow another 500 grand and then take it and build that store, and borrow 300 grand for this location, and each little LLC would have its own like little debt. Well, the bank is like, oh, no. You owe $5 million now.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I don't know $5 million. That store
Each
owes
one.
$300,000. This one's down to $182. But that's not how they judge it. So I realized that we could leverage bank debt, and it's the cheapest money, but it would be such a slow growth.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't get to my 75 locations for the next like 50 years. So I want to grow fast. So I think our plan now is to really kind of go after maybe a family office and somebody locally who has like a little skin in the game as far as like they want to see the community grow and they want to see a small business locally, kind of, accelerate. So I think that'd be good. Private equity is hard because they have, they're borrowing money from a fund or something, and it gets tricky. And then I started going down the private credit route too. And I just realized like some of these things are at 15%, 16% loans, and that gets tricky too.
Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of options out there, and like
None of them are great.
None of them are great. So family office ideally, someone like here, I guess 75 stores, you want to be kind of start here, grow outwards. How are you thinking about geography?
Yeah, I like to own our Chicago market.
Yep.
And you know what's nice about being in Chicago is that our market's huge.
Yeah.
We got 9 million people here.
Yep.
We also have Milwaukee, which is just north of here. We have college towns around here.
Yep.
So the commissary we build, we want to be within a 2-hour to 3-hour drive of a location.
Got it.
So even like Madison, Wisconsin has a great college campus.
Yep.
Huge. It's also the Epic, the company Epic. It's their headquarters. Yeah, the healthcare. So I think we could almost open 2 locations in Madison.
Yep.
That's about a 2-hour drive from where our commissary is going to be. So even though it's like not in the Chicago, you would never call Madison, Wisconsin, Chicagoland.
Yeah.
But to me, like that could be a part of our 75 stores. All the college towns. There's 300 neighborhoods just in the city of Chicago.
Wow.
And then you got another, I think 100 neighborhoods, suburbs,
Yeah.
So out of 400 neighborhoods in Chicagoland area, we could definitely, sprinkle them around.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So what's, I guess, day in a life, week in a life? You wake up on Monday morning, aside from being at a conference.
Yeah.
What does that look like? I guess with a tint of like kind of a, what are you looking at numbers wise? What are you checking in on? How much to spend current stores versus new stores? Like, kind of break that down for us.
Yeah, usually it starts off with me looking at I try to look at our sales on Monday morning about like how we did for the last week.
Yeah.
I used to look at the sales every single day, and I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
Eventually it will eat your heart, but no, I think once a week is a good cadence to kind of check on your sales. How did each store do? What problems did we have at the stores? We look at what we're marketing for the week. So I go really all in on social media.
Yep.
And so I try to what days are we, making videos this week? And we have operational team every Monday. We call it our delivering happiness meetings.
Yep.
So we get the operations team together. We talk about things that are coming up. We do a lot of LTOs. We do collaborations.
Yep.
So working on that part of it. I usually have finance meetings that are random throughout, the week. So we kind of just look at the calendar and figure that out. But almost every single day is a different day in the restaurant business. There's no 2 days that are the same at all.
Yeah.
So I could probably do a little better organization.
Yeah.
And I'm still running around.
Yeah.
So I think a good CEO doesn't do a job in the company.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm doing 12 jobs right now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a little bit of a problem, is I need to hire my way out of not having a job in the company.
Yeah.
And then I could be a real CEO and manage, helping our team get better.
Yeah. I love it. With those finance meetings, what are you talking about during those?
We broke it down. We call it store leader profitability.
Yeah.
But it's basically our gross profit.
Yep.
And so we're looking at the gross profit. We look at our sales. We look at labor, food costs, disposables. We, since we have a commissary and the shared intercompany invoicing, we look at our shared cost that the stores pay into the commissary, and then chemicals. So we kind of add those up, and we're always trying to get our stores to be at 45% gross profit. Is really kind of the goal. If they can get closer to 50, that's go territory. So we love getting close to that. And we have some last quarter that we're hitting 48%, 47% gross profit. Love that, But then we have others that are at 39, 40%, 42.
Yeah.
So it's kind of where can we work on? Who's doing what? Why did this person have overtime? What happened? As long as there's a story and a reason for something, it's kind of all right, we can move on. But sometimes you're well, this store had a 30% food cost.
Yeah.
Why? Because everyone else had a 26 or 24. It's so we try to dive into we look at the finances to tell a story, and then see where the problems are.
Yeah.
How can we get better?
Yeah, that's the tough part about restaurants. Is you can put these systems in place, and you get to a good point, and the moment you stop looking at it for a few weeks or months, it just kind of deteriorates. So you got to always be on it. It never is just there. I guess what sort of systems do you have? So the 50% target, 45 average. What do you see as the difference? Say a store's at 48, a store's at 39. What is the main driver typically? Is it a lot of labor? Is it some food cost related issues? I guess what's the major one?
I think, sales solves everything.
Yeah.
So I think the more sales you get in, the easier the labor does.
Right.
Because, if you have a slow sales week, then the labor is high. But, you have the same 4 people who are working that lunch shift.
Yeah.
They could actually do more. So if they had a busy lunch, they're doing more with less. So that kind of helps. And then I think just the volume wise too, you start to see your food costs go down, like the more the volume goes up a little bit. Even though that's always weird to me because it's just a percentage of sales. Yeah. So it should like go up and down with the percent. But I think the more people you get in the door, like people add on to orders, it's like, oh, I might get, something happened, let's celebrate, I'm starving, let's get that extra thing. Yeah. And so then their food costs might go down a little bit.
Because they're buying some high margin item on the side as well.
Yeah, like if you and I go into the restaurant and you get a sandwich and I get a sandwich, that's all we get. Yeah. And like that's not that good for the food costs. But now if we had messy fries, we had some chicken wings, all of a sudden like with each, add addition to our order, our menu cost goes down. The food costs will go down.
Makes sense. I think I saw on the website beef tallow chicken wings. Oh yeah, how's that going? That sounds great.
So we fry everything in beef tallow, 100% beef tallow. That is our differentiator. Yeah. So anyone listening, you got to have something that really makes you stand out. That's like a differentiator. You can get chicken wings anywhere. Yeah. Can you get beef tallow wings anywhere? You can't. No. I actually looked around even all of Chicago. I'm like, I don't know anyone who's frying in 100% beef tallow. Yeah. So we went all in on beef tallow from the beginning. I found out the whole story about why McDonald's stopped using beef tallow in 1991. For anybody who's interested, Malcolm Gladwell has a great podcast called Revisionist History. Yep. And there's an episode called McDonald's Broke My Heart. So I heard that right before we opened the restaurant. We were already dabbling with beef tallow. Yep. And I was like, as soon as I found out that story, I was like, we're going all in on beef tallow.
I love it.
It tastes better for you. It's healthier for you. It's a cleaner way to eat. People have been cooking with animal fat since the beginning of time. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's not cheaper though. Right? You're paying up a premium for that, and that's
you pay for it.
Investment you're making in the brand and in the food and all that, right?
And now we have people that come out of their way to come eat at the restaurant because of the beef tallow thing. So it is a big deal. I even had a functional medicine doctor, which that was a big thing. She took her kids. I just touched her table, was checking in on her. How's everything? First time here, kind of thing. Yeah. And she goes, I found out you guys use beef tallow. She goes, I'm going to tell all my clients.
I love that. I'm going to go. So chicken fingers are my favorite food in the entire world. Right. Like since I was a kid, I love it. I'm going to go before I head to the airport tomorrow. I'm going to stop by and get some chicken fingers.
We have one that's about 20 minutes away from here. Okay. It's our West Town store.
Perfect. I'm going to go by. Yeah. I love that.
You'll like it.
And so you're 9 years ago. You're using beef tallow since day one.
Yep.
And then now it seems like it's kind of starting to catch on a little bit. Yeah. You guys are, I still don't see anything, but you guys have been doing this for a while. You're going to catch this wave that's kind of coming up. I think a lot more people are starting to look at oils people are using and all that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And there's an app called Seed Oil Scout.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are starting to use that app. That's getting more popular. Yeah. I think just in general, the consumer is learning about what they want in their food. And there's a lot of people pointing out all the terrible ingredients. Yeah. So they're trying to eat cleaner and they'll pay a little extra for that.
The consumers are tracking it a lot more now. Like the Seed Oil Scout, there's one called Oasis for water as well. And these apps are just like looking at menus, ingredients, and they're going through it. And consumers are using that to look at where they go and buy from. So it's getting more important for sure.
So let me ask you a question. So what are you seeing in finance and in growth of like how restaurants scale and how are they funding it?
A lot of our customers, so we have about 1,000 restaurants on our platform. They are focusing on like the store level performance and knowing that if you nail that and you can replicate that, you can end up growing. Like they all of them are saying like, I'm going to really focus on the store level data and investments. Yeah. Knowing that if I do this one right, I'll do two right, I'll do three right. I'll eventually get to 100, 200 plus. But if you don't get that store right, things fall apart and try to grow too fast. So we see a lot of doubling down on in-store, brand, experience, all of that stuff. Fundraising wise, we see like a mix of family offices, private credit. The groups we work with are typically around like 15, 20 units. So they're not looking at MCA or anything like that. A lot of them are going bank loan kind of to build out the store if they're building from scratch or to acquire it. And they're going to layer on either private credit or a direct investment to go and scale that up. But a lot of them are kind of like you, where like debt is like, it's not really the best option for them. Mm-hmm. And trying to fund internally as much as possible, which gets a bit easier as you get and stack more stores. But it's a wide mix of things out there.
Interesting. All right. And are you seeing people like lean more towards like giving up equity to grow versus like, hey, I'm just going to like keep all the equity, but I'm going to like pay more interest based on that?
The equity's tough. So my family has 12 restaurants. And,
all right.
My parents do equity typically. So they'll go and open a new location. 45% goes to investors. They have the rest with the operation partners. The big thing with that is like the payback period's quite fast on these things, right? So credit's kind of like a better option because you can pay it off and now you own the whole thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of them look now, at least what we talked about, is they like to find partners that can help them grow, and they're not just money. So either it's a platform that can help them figure out franchising, or it's some other, someone else that's connected in the industry. So they want strategic capital, essentially, is like kind of what everyone's looking for.
Interesting. So will they have different investors in every?
Yeah, I've seen people stack
store?
like a marketing-focused investor, a brand and marketing, one that has CPG experience that can help them with that, one that has franchise experience that can help them with that, and it's like kind of like almost hiring them, but they're giving you money, so it's kind of a good strategic move for them.
Yeah, strategic partnerships. I like the idea of that because you can get more people helping. One of the things that your parents might want to consider is a waterfall effect.
Yeah.
Do you know
Structure
about that?
Better, so you start to pay back over time.
But it's like, hey, once I make you a good amount of money on your return, then you either waterfall down to like a small, very small equity percentage, or I just exit you out of the investment that you started with.
I think the way they've done it so far is kind of like what you said. They're all community-based people, like people that are like in the community can bring volume to that, and I think. They've done the same approach, like someone that could really be directly involved versus just pure money. I think that's the theme, is like a lot of people don't want just pure money. They want resources and some other things in that as well.
And that is cool when you have people in the community who are like fans, supporters, investors. They're bringing their family there, telling everyone about it. Yeah, I love that.
Awesome. Well, I think we're getting called on to finish up here. So if you want to just like the last 20 seconds, like lay it out and where everyone can find you and all that.
Oh yeah. So Joe Fontana, Joe at Fry The Coop. Anyone wants to reach out, I'm always happy to help, give advice. All ships rise with the tide. So we all like helping people, but you can find us at Fry The Coop on everywhere. And if you're in Chicago, come get the best chicken sandwich you ever had. Fried and 100% beef tallow.
Yeah, I'm having it tomorrow.
Let's go.
Cool. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate
Thanks for having me.